In this week's space news, we cover VAST, the commercial space station startup, preparing to start testing their Haven-1 structure. This will be the first commercial space station to launch, financed entirely by the company itself. Our second story covers a big new investment in Stoke Space, the US launch provider working on a 100% fully reusable launcher. And finally, we cover Rocket Factory Augsburg, receiving a launch license from the UK's Civil Aviation Authority, as they work to be the first commercial European company to fly from the UK. Okay, let's get started. VAST recently posted on X about their Haven-1 structure, which has just finished receiving its final welds. The company plans to rigorously test the structure to confirm it can endure the challenges of space launch and operations. They have scheduled the launch of the Haven-1 space station for August 2025 using a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. Their X account showed a team photo with a completed Haven-1 structure. The post on X says, "Our Haven-1 primary structure qualification article was shipped to our Mojave, California testing facility this morning. The shipment includes the domed window, hatch and tank mass simulators, which will be used in the upcoming integrated load and pressure test. The VAST team here is part of a larger in-house group that designed, manufactured and integrated the article at our Long Beach headquarters. We also got to see VAST installing the Haven-1 structure into their specially designed testing facility. VAST anticipates an extensive period of testing the structure to simulate loads and internal pressures the structure will face during its ascent and while in orbit. After successful lifting and installation, we can see the structure resting within the testing infrastructure. A human in the photo provides a sense of the module's scale. This module serves as a prototype for the expansive and sophisticated Haven-2 space station. VAST intends to use this design to strengthen their proposal for the NASA Commercial Lunar Destinations program, with a decision expected in 2026. By deploying operational hardware in space that matches their proposal, VAST aims to demonstrate their expertise in space station operations, thereby boosting their credibility and potentially securing their future in a highly competitive race that could determine the company's fate. Okay, on to our second story this week about a US-based launch provider. Stoke Space secures $260 million in new financing. Stoke Space, the US launch provider developing a fully reusable launch vehicle, has announced a $260 million investment round. This new funding more than doubles their previous total, bringing the company's raised capital to $480 million. This substantial financing indicates strong investor confidence in Stoke Space's technology and business strategy. Certainly, the technology is impressive. The second stage is completely reusable, something no company, not even SpaceX, has managed to achieve so far. The first stage also returns to land propulsively. If Stoke Space can bring this vehicle to market, it has great potential. Also, the second stage is highly capable, as it runs on liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, giving it unmatched performance compared to existing second stages from competitors. Andy Lapser, CEO and co-founder of Stoke Space, said, "We deeply appreciate the confidence investors have placed in Stoke and our mission. This new investment validates our progress and enables us to accelerate the development of technologies that will redefine access to and from space." Stoke intends to use the new funding to complete construction at Launch Complex 14 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. Funds will also be used to complete the development of Nova, the launch vehicle, and improvements of their test facility and manufacturing headquarters. Okay, on to our final story this week. RFA receives Spaceflight Operator License. Rocket Factory Augsburg, or RFA for short, announced they have received their launch license from the UK's Civil Aviation Authority, or CAA for short. This marks the first license granted for a commercial space company to conduct a vertical orbital launch from the European mainland. Their Scottish launch site, Saxavord, has already secured all required licenses for operating a vertical spaceport, clearing the way for launches without further licensing hurdles. RFA aims to perform its inaugural launch from Saxford Spaceport in 2025. The license they've received is not time limited and allows for a variety of orbits and trajectories. This development sends a powerful message to investors and potential clients, particularly in Europe, as RFA stands out as the only European company fully licensed to launch payloads into space directly from Europe. RFA is now concentrating on the final technical preparations for their first test flight. They have already achieved quite a few milestones, including the flight qualification of the RFA-1's second stage, the Redshift Orbital Transfer Vehicle, and their payload fairing system. The current focus is on constructing the first stage of the rocket, equipped with 9 Helix stage combustion engines, and conducting a complete hot fire test at Saxford Spaceport, Scotland. The upcoming test flight of RFA-1 will be a key moment for European spaceflight. It will help establish cost-effective launch services for small satellites in Europe for the first time. You can be sure we will cover RFA on this channel, as well as other space startups moving towards their inaugural launches. Other companies launching from Saxford are High Impulse, Skyrover, and Orbex. Check out my video on these companies as well as my RFA video. Okay, that's it for this week. Be sure to like and subscribe so you will see our upcoming videos. We make videos every week covering the space industry, with an emphasis on the smaller space startups that aren't covered so well on other channels. See you soon.